Historically significant things that happened on April 1st? April 1st stands as a day where the line between visionary ambition and elaborate deception has frequently blurred, marking the birth of global icons and the structural reorganization of international defense. It is a date anchored by the 1791 founding of the Bank of New York, which professionalized the American financial system, and the 1976 partnership of Jobs and Wozniak that created Apple Computer, a technological pivot that would eventually redefine the mechanical limits of personal computing. From the 1918 formation of the Royal Air Force, RAF, as the world's first independent air arm, to the 1960 launch of TIROS-1, the first successful weather satellite, April 1st consistently highlights the human drive to master the skies, the markets, and the very flow of information. Let us look at the significant historical events of April 1st, categorized by cultural, educational, financial, physical/mental/relational health, political, professional, social, spiritual, and scientific and technological points of view. Historically significant things that happened on April 1st. From cultural point of view, 1924, Royal Canadian Air Force, RCAF, formed. The RCAF was established as a permanent component of the Canadian professional military, a structural milestone that defined Canada's independent aerial identity. 1970, John Lennon and Yoko Ono's April's Fool. The couple announced they were undergoing a sex change operation, a classic example of using the day's cultural tradition to create a social and media spectacle. 1957, the BBC Spaghetti Tree hoax. The program Panorama broadcast a segment showing Swiss farmers harvesting spaghetti from trees. This remains the most famous cultural April Fool, demonstrating the power of mass media on public perception. Historically significant things that happened from educational point of view. 1945. Battle of Okinawa begins. On Easter Sunday and April Fool's Day, U.S. forces landed on Okinawa. This event serves as a critical educational case study in the structural complexities of amphibious warfare and the high human cost of the Pacific Campaign. 1918. Royal Air Force, RAF, founded. The British RAF was formed by the amalgamation of the Royal Flying Corps and the Royal Naval Air Service, creating the world's first independent air force and a new educational framework for aerial combat. Historically significant things that happened on April 1st. From financial point of view, 1976. Apple Computer Company founded. Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne formed the partnership. This was a massive financial turning point, birthing a company that would eventually redefine the global personal computing and smartphone markets. 1934. Switzerland's Banking Act of 1934. This act codified Swiss bank secrecy laws. It provided the structural foundation for Switzerland's status as a global financial haven, professionalizing the management of private international wealth. Historically significant things that happened on April 1st. From physical/mental/relational health point of view. 1929. Birth of Jane Powell, the actress and singer, was born. Her career in Golden Age musicals provided a cultural sense of optimism that many credit with supporting public mental health during post-war Reconstruction. 1970. Cigarette advertising ban. President Richard Nixon signed the Public Health Cigarette Smoking Act, banning cigarette advertisements on television and radio. This was a major structural shift in public health policy aimed at reducing nicotine addiction. Historically significant things that happened on April 1st from political point of view. 1939. End of the Spanish Civil War. Generalissimo Francisco Franco announced the end of the conflict, marking the start of a nearly 40-year dictatorship that fundamentally altered the political and social structure of Spain. 1999. Nunavut becomes a territory. Canada's map was redrawn as Nunavut was officially separated from the Northwest Territories. This was a landmark political and relational milestone for Indigenous self-governance in the Arctic. Historically significant things that happened on April 1st from professional point of view. 1948. The Berlin blockade begins. The Soviet Union began restricting rail and highway access to Berlin. For the professional, military, and logistics sectors, this necessitated the, quote, Berlin airlift, a mechanical triumph of supply chain management under extreme political pressure. 1954. U.S. Air Force Academy established. President Eisenhower signed the bill creating the Academy, professionalizing the education and leadership track for the next generation of aerospace engineers and pilots. Historically significant things that happened on April 1st. From social point of view, April Fool's Day. The origin of this global social tradition is debated, but it serves as a yearly stress test for relational trust and the social verification of information. 2001. Same-sex marriage legalized in the Netherlands. The Netherlands became the first country in the world to legally recognize same-sex marriage, a major social and relational milestone that set a global precedent. Historically significant things that happened on April 1st. From spiritual point of view, 1572. The Sea Beggars capture Brielle. During the 80 Years' War, Dutch rebels captured the town of Brielle. This was a spiritual and political turning point for Protestantism in the Netherlands, leading to the eventual independence of the Dutch Republic. 1877. First Easter egg roll at the White House. President Rutherford B. Hayes opened the White House grounds for the event, integrating a spiritual holiday into a recurring American social and political tradition. Historically significant things that happened on April 1st. 1960. TIROS-1 launch. The United States launched the first successful weather satellite. This technological milestone provided the first structural data of Earth's cloud patterns from space, revolutionizing the professional field of meteorology. 2004. Gmail launch. Google launched its email service. Initially dismissed as an April Fool's joke due to its unprecedented 1 GB storage capacity, it became a technological standard that redefined cloud-based professional communication. Hi viewers, family and friends. How did you like the content of this video? Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Please write in the comments your name and the place you are watching from. Since our viewing family is spread all over the world, it will be nice to know which city and the country you are watching from, so I can say hello to you. Science and technology, reading and listening to the historical accomplishments on this date of those who have gone before us. I, as a professional engineer with interest in structural engineering, energy-efficient buildings, ICF construction, and as Google Docs expert with interest in spreadsheet-based solutions, draw inspiration to ask of myself the million-dollar question, what would I accomplish today? Think about the Japanese practice of Kaizen. Let me know in the comments. What would you accomplish today? Your subscribing to the channel inspires me to post more such videos. Thanks for your patronage. See you in the next video. Sincerely, Yogi Anand.